Hello, you guys. So I've been studying and I've been on a path of basically trying to figure out what we can do in this world because, as I previously discussed, um, I've talked about a lot of what can we do and where I'm at with the potential paths we have of saving ourselves and somebody saving us. Well, I recently came across some information that was just talking about understanding the understanding of light and dark. It's basically like I've mentioned in my own videos where it's like one end is completely dark, one end is the light, and the middle is the gray. And basically understanding and fully embodying both the dark and the light. See, the dark and the light is a metaphor. It's not actual evil and good. That's the parasitic concept of what we have. Now there is evil and there is things that are of bad, but that is only in the mind and it's only in a unclean environment that these parasites can live. And so they obviously had to break us down throughout history, and that's what I was mentioning by showing you guys some of the older videos. What I have on my screen here is water or energy or the flow of whatever. We're looking at a view right now. The view is what it is. I'm gonna leave it here while we talk, and I'm gonna show you something as towards the end of the video. So as somebody that is able to observe the emotions and energies that surround me, as everybody else can, I've learned that there is a disconnect between myself and also others. There's a disconnect between mind and feelings. And the problem has been that our thought has been separate from our feelings. See, when you're told to be within yourself, to see yourself as all, what they're trying to explain to you is that your heart, your center, is the greatest energetic point on through all your body. Your thoughts follow your heart. See, that's the source. That's how it was. But the parasite, the hierarchy, is that the top leads the below. So most people's minds would be in a pyramidic structure where they're starting from the top and working their way down, which is should be in the center, because that's source. That's why your source of creation is because you start within the center, and your center is your heart. That means you listen to your heart, and then your thoughts follow your heart. And see, what ends up happening is they co-create. They're not really somebody is following the other. To explain what I'm explaining, I'm giving an example of it like that. But in actuality, everything is so instant and instantaneous that when you do something and think something, it's so quick. And what's happened is that the illusion and the craft is the mind and breaking each other down and separating from your heart and starting with a hierarchy instead of a holarchy, which is being within co-creators of every single person, because that person is of you just like you are them, because you are from source, which is energy, which is whatever emotion is energy, the basic harmonics of energy. And that's why these illusionists and crafters has have us disconnected between mind, heart, and action, because what ends up happening is you get bent and you become squared in a cube, because meaning that you're separated from what is happening, like cells, your cells within your body is separated. And I found a lot of information that I already understood, but in a way put together. So I was contemplating when I was out in the forest some time ago, where does green come from, the color green? And then you just sit around and you look at everything and it's full of life. Green is life. So it's very interesting things. So continuing with the whole conversation, I had to step away for a second. The green energy that is within plants and things like that. It absorbs the sun, and we've come. I had a ideal some time ago. I said that um, I don't think we had a sun or a moon at one point. I believe something happened and we then got a sun and a moon. Now, I believe the sun and the moon is part of this construct. And somebody that I came across recently come to the conclusion that this is a matrix, which I agree with. I do agree that it is a matrix. I do agree that everything is on a system, on a hard drive, and we're on a server, and each of us is a memory to the server, and we make up the server. But I do believe that the server has been hijacked or manipulated in such a way, but it's not going to be like that forever. Like I said, my sole purpose is to find the solution, find an understanding that can help us all help each other. That way we can stop this useless and senseless harm to each other, or harm to ourselves. And obviously we can't fight them because that's still feeding the whole duality. But his idea is that there's something in the center of literally the center of the earth, which correlates to the whole idea of the center of yourself and it being a hierarchy. And I do agree that if you have enough people saying, hey, I want to be able to look at something, and nobody is saying anything, there's got to be something done. A certain amount of people saying, hey, this is not real, this place does not make sense, we need to go ahead and check this out, because like I discussed in some of my videos, there's so much lies to what we're told in all places. Now certain places is less than others, but ultimately we need, it's a big lie. So we have to ultimately understand ourselves, get to the truth, not an individual truth. Nobody is the ultimate truth. We all can see the source of truth and absorb others' information and co-create. Where I listen to your views, I ask you why. Because my most important thing is always asking why. Because you need to understand why you're doing something before you do it. I did what I did and I explained why I did it. I understand what people are saying and it is all about what we can do right now. Because ultimately, the far stretch plan may be able to visit a place and see something. But as of right now, for us to live and co-create, we still need to give our ideals, and stay strong. And the fact that we care about one each other and we want to have the facts, because it's unfair to be lied to and to not given the facts. Because if you're not given facts, how can you make a conclusion that is of understanding? You just can't. So at this point in time, I came across a video today which really helped me connect with embodying the full light and full dark. Last night I was thinking about what the gentleman was saying regarding the concept of the black sun and the white sun. And we already know about the black sun. I mean, you can go out there and research it. It's already out there. And I recently came across some information, and I found a picture that somebody took. In the picture, it was reflecting against the glass in the bathroom at a perfect angle, to which it made it look exactly what the sun does, what we catch on camera. And I then recently been looking at the sun and seeing patents on it being fake. Like, it's a hologram. Of course, this is artificially real and artificially fake. Like, it's a system. And it's because people has been non-centered. You haven't been centered in your heart to see it, and I wasn't centered in my heart to see it. I mean, I was to a point, because that's why I'm able to sit here and understand it all. to a point. I don't even know it all, and I don't think anybody does now. I think some people are getting a very clear idea, and I'm interested to see what the next couple of years is going to bring, because all of this is just a collective co-creating consciousness that we have gotten to a point where there's individuals that believe certain things, and all that information is being transferred within our planet, between being the being, and we're all getting different ideals about what our source and creation is. And at this point in time, I feel it's pointless to go deep into it all, because it's going to happen the way it's supposed to happen no matter what. And no matter what artificial intelligence, or no matter what being says that they're going to take over, I really, really know deep inside of me that we are going to understand everything and get the ultimate truth. And I'm not waiting for nobody. I'm looking for it myself. I'm trying to figure it out. That's why I feel like I know we're going, because I'm going to be the cause within myself, and you're going to be the cause within yourself to do the things that you ultimately really want to do. And when that starts happening, there's going to be a shift with each person energetically, where you're going to be aware of your energy and your consciousness and your body, and that you're not your body. And when people fully understand that they are their emotions with their energetic signatures, basically, it's just another form of it. Once we start aligning our thoughts with our emotions and our actions, and all of them are done in sequence, then there's going to be a change. And no matter what being thinks that they can manipulate us, no matter what artificial system that thinks that they can manipulate us, I truly believe that we're going to figure it out. And you know what? I had to come to terms with thinking things might get worse before they get better, or whatever it is. You know what? I'm going to take each day as it is. I'm going to talk and think about stuff each day as it comes. You know what? I'm not going to worry about 3 years from now. I'm not going to worry about 2 million people from now. I'm not going to worry about any of that. I'm going to focus and stay in the consistent now of this very moment. And you know what? If I'm going to strive and to energetically want how to do certain things, and I have to be confident, and we have to work through our egos, and we have to work through our conflicts that we have within ourselves, whether it's not believing that we're healthy. Because I was talking in my Google Plus feed about the placebo effect, and what I'm trying to explain and what I'm figuring out is that I may eat healthy my whole life, but if I'm not spiritually healthy, like energetically, it's going to make me sick. Now, I'm starting to understand that I think you have to meet in the middle as well, meaning that you might need to try certain things that might help your body be healthier, to meet you in the middle, so you're not doing all the work. Because if you're energetically trying to keep yourself safe, or you are safe, like, I believe you can do all things at once, but I think we have to learn how to do those things again within ourselves. It's not going to be a teacher that's going to teach us. It's going to, because we ourselves as the teachers, we're going to co-create. And by wanting to understand how to help ourselves so we can help others, the knowledge of what we need to be able to do is going to surface. And no matter how many lies or division or untruthfulness that we're going to have out there, I think everything is going to bring itself together, and we're going to figure it out. And if it's not within my lifetime, that is okay. But it's about making sure that the next generation has information to be able to share or think about. And maybe they see things differently than we do. But I don't want anybody to lose the source of themselves within this world, because what's happening is with this whole cyborg theory out here, there's the understanding that there's man and machine is already going to be intertwined. It already is. That's what you need to think about. That's already happening. That's already been done. If anything, it's just going to further itself. That's because we've forgotten that we're technology ourselves. That's the easiest way for me to describe it. We're a system, an a source of creation, energetic machine. I don't even like machine. Um, Technology. I just say we're technology ourselves. That is of source. That is natural, and our planet, or whatever you want to call it, was energetically a machine as well. And we understood the mechanics of our machine that we're in, and we understood how to co-create and create things that is within the source of creation. And it wasn't even like the whole thing where they make it seem where we are like worshiping and always on our knees. That's not what it was. What it was is the act of it, the act of appreciation, the act of understanding what we are and what we live on. So we took care of it. And we still had fun. Like, I'm sure we, like, it wasn't a boring, like, oh, they put things in your mind to make you think in a way that makes it boring. And that's not the way it is. It's like doing something and then having fun while doing that and having a preconceived notion that it was bored. You're going to change your mind. And what it is an illusion. Like, we still, learning is something that we all take passion in. It's not, the barbaric picture that they painted out was not what we are. And it was a mindset that they put in place to break us down consciously, so that way they can attack. And in some ways, like some people say, uh, get your consent, right? Because you're consenting. Now, what makes me upset is that they're able to manipulate and get you to consent to something that, in a way, you were misled to consent. But that's why there's a lot of people that are gone out there and said, hey, you know what? I say no to any contracts I'm aware of and any contracts that I'm not aware of. And a part of that is you going, it's not that hard. You just ask yourself questions, you look up some information, you don't get stuck on that one piece of information. You put it there on your table with the rest of your information and put it together and make a sandwich. And you can't just, you're going to call yourself crazy. You're going to be angry at yourself. But what you have to do is feel those emotions, understand why you're feeling those emotions, and not get stuck in your ego somewhere along the way where you want to be a god of whatever thing that you think you're fully understanding. We all are co-creators, and no matter how much I think I might be understanding a creation of something, I may still be wrong, because all I have to do is change the view. All I have to do is change the view. Let me show you something. All I have to do is change the view. Okay? It's the same picture, just a different view. You see, the light at the end of the tunnel is an illusion because it's a perception. You have tunnel vision, is what they're trying to tell you. You have a tunnel vision at the light of the tunnel, and it's gonna you're missing all of the beautiful creation that's around you and staying present. And here you are staring off into the light. This is your history. This is life. This is energy, everything. And you're just staring off into the light. There's the life flow right here. You are this water. You are all of this. And when we start taking control of all of that and saying, okay, I may not have been originally of this, but it may be in me, but let's figure out how to get rid of it, or let's figure out how to not get rid of it, but ultimately I think what's happening is that we're understanding to be able to balance and to not become co-creators. Instead of being a hierarchy, you have to be in a holarchy and just co-create with each other and stop trying to hierarchy each other. That's the easiest way in any form. Hierarchy each other. Now, what starts to happen is that I may understand something differently than you because I sat there and thought about it more. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm smarter than you. It just means that I took the time to go ahead and think about something that you decided not to think about. A lot of people I've talked to decide not to think about anything. Well, you have to think. You have to ask why. You have to feel your source of creation. Like if something feels wrong, ask why does it feel wrong? And live from there. You're not sick. You're not full of diseases. Nothing is not curable. Everything is curable. You're a curable being. You are a being of curable. You're a being of curiosity. You're a being of intelligence. You're a being of love. You're a being of hate. But it is just understanding that you can be manipulated. But at the same time, what can you do to co-create with that manipulation and make sure that you're not manipulating it, but it's not manipulating you?